Hey, Brennan here. Welcome to the channel, and thanks for tuning in. Well, the NFL draft is in the books. We got the draft capital. We got the landing spots, right? I took a week and a half off, man. I was burned out. I ain't going to lie. I needed to take a mental break from making content, but I am back. Well, we did all the pre-scouting work for the rookies. Now we got to do the post NFL draft work, right? We're going to talk about my top 36 rookies. Guys, you're going to be drafting really in the top 3 rounds. The top 2 rounds are going to be really solid players. Round 3 is where you take your guys. Round 4 or 5, they're all long shots as much as we like them and think that all of these players are going to hit our dynasty rosters and be consistent contributors. It's just not the case, but we're going to have fun nonetheless. So let's get right to it. So round 1, early mid. Okay, so Genty is the king. There is really not many drafts that I've seen that Genty has not gone the 101, right? He looks like he could be a special player for a long time. Running backs, when you got a good one, man, you have an advantage in your dynasty league. So round 1, early to mid. The rest of the players here that we're looking at, Cam Ward. If you're in a super flex league, you're going to be taking Cam Ward early, right? He looks like he is the only quarterback that is going to have immediate starting potential, has the upside. Certainly wasn't Shedeur Sanders. What a draft day he had. I felt kind of bad for the young man, but in any case, Travis Hunter going to the Jaguars, solid landing spot. I like it when wide receivers go to spots where there's already a wide receiver 1, right? So you got Thomas there. He's going to be taking the main coverage. This will allow Hunter to get on the field. Trevor Lawrence hopefully continues to improve as a passer, but I like the spot. I think you got a new coach, new regime down there. The question is whether or not he's going to be playing offense a lot or defense as well, and how's that going to translate to a consistent contributor in fantasy. So it is a risk, but he is the best route runner in the class without a doubt. So he is a high upside pick, but he could also disappoint. So this is one of the reasons why I hate doing rookie drafts right after the NFL draft. So in my Slack channel, my NFL draft big board subscriber Slack chat, so many guys are in the middle of rookie drafts and they're trying to say, hey, who should I be? This is where I love to just not do rookie drafts. I commission 2 leagues, and sorry to get off topic here, but I don't do my rookie drafts till August. I want to have the anticipation of having a rookie draft. I mean, what's the rush, man? We just got the draft capital and landing spot. Everyone relax and take a step back and let the stuff absorb. People get right into it right afterward, and then it's like the fun's over. Now I got, 4 months to look forward to my rookie draft. So talk to your commissioner. Do it in the summer. It's a lot better. All right, Trevion Henderson, he was my RB2 coming into the draft, rather. Like the landing spot in New England. Ramondre Stevenson is going to be there. He hasn't been able to hold on to the ball, but new coaching system, new OC. The old OC is back in New England, and, they love throwing the ball out of the backfield. I think Trevion Henderson excels in that. Good pass protector as well for Drake May. Solid landing spot there. Marion Hampton is typically the guy that goes off the board first. I mean, so you take Trevion Henderson or Hampton. I see Hampton going off the board. I mean, Jim Harbaugh loves running the ball, right? So you know that this guy is going to be a workhorse. I think Trevion Henderson has a little bit more lateral agility and ability, a little bit more explosion as well in the passing game. But both of these players, I think, are going to get early touches to be immediate contributors for our starting lineups in Dynasty. All right, Tech McMillan here is going early to mid as well. See him sometimes going off 3 off the board. You're a wide receiver needy team. The Panthers, I mean, Bryce Young rebounded last year. That is nice. They've been whiffing on wide receiver selections in the draft, but T-Mac is let's see if he can get that wide receiver 1 status. He certainly has the opportunity. Bryce Young seems to be improving as well. So these are the guys that I see coming off early to mid in round 1, and rightfully so. But if you, again, want to adjust, one rule that I got in rookie drafts, man, is take your guy. ADP is something to look at, but when you're in your rookie drafts, get the guy that you want, regardless of what I think or anybody else thinks. It's your team, and if you flop and pick the wrong guy, at least you can say you have no one to blame but yourself. All right, round 1, late to mid. Okay, so this is where Jackson Dart comes in. I've seen him taken early in the middle of the first round in super flex leagues. Now this is a super flex kind of ranking show here, so to speak. So he's not going to get out of round 1 in rookie drafts, right? He's a round 1 draft capital guy in the NFL. The Giants come up and get him, which is great. I think Russell Wilson starts. Jackson Dart can sit on the bench, and that's the way it all should be for all quarterbacks. I've said that many, many times in the quarterbacks. If you've been a subscriber to this channel and watch my content, all quarterbacks should sit a year and just learn how to be a pro. Judkins, okay, another running back here who is usually taken in the first round, mid to late. Then we've got basically Luther Burden is, I think, a pretty good landing spot. People are concerned about how many targets, we got, Colson Loveland also going there. Also, someone looking to get their hands on the ball with Caleb Williams. Huge season for Caleb Williams, his sophomore year to rebound. They're certainly putting the tools around the young man to succeed. So Luther Burden, down in Missouri, he was kind of used all over the line of scrimmage, short passing game, Wildcat, all sorts of good stuff. So again, just an offensive weapon. It should be interesting to see how, he is distributed with targets this year. But I like the landing spot, basically long term. I think it's a solid one. I think he was my wide receiver 2 coming into the class. So I like his skill set overall. So then we have, if you're in a tight end premium league, you're going to be taking either Colston Loveland or Tyler Warren in the first round towards the latter half. Now, if you're not in a tight end premium, I can see you taking Golden, Ibuka, RJ Harvey, other players that we're going to talk about here shortly. So I got Matthew Golden here. I have him ranked a little bit higher than Ibuka. I like the landing spot of Green Bay. Jaden Reed is there, who's been a nice player, but I think the rest of them are Jags. And Christian Watson has been in injury. Jordan Love is an ascending quarterback, well, they're at least paying him like he is. So Golden, I think they're still looking for their wide receiver 1, and he was pretty explosive at Texas last year. So I'm excited to get him. If you've got him on your Devy roster, you draft him, I think you should get decent production early in the season. So that kind of rounds out round 1. Now, Ibuka, you'll see here in early to mid round 2. I could see him sneaking into the first round. I like the landing spot too. Baker Mayfield is a solid quarterback who I think has found a home. And there's some really good veterans on the team that can teach him the ropes. McMillan, a rookie last year, kind of emerged in the slot. Ibuka played slot at Ohio State. How that all jives, I'm not sure. But I can guarantee you, if you have to wait a year, it'll be worth it for Ibuka. Excuse me. I think he might have not had that year 1 production you're hoping for, but don't pass on the talent chasing production year 1. You want players who you're going to be expected to be in the league a long time. All right, early round 2 as well. I mean, is there a player that has more hype right now than RJ Harvey, right? Sean Payton plucks him in the second round, shocking the world, right? So it's pretty fun, right? So you're in that quandary because he wasn't in my top 10, admittedly. So I'll tell you when I make misses, man. I ain't here to kind of, not tell you when I make misses. We all make misses. There ain't nobody out there that gets 100% of these things right. But RJ Harvey, you got to love the landing spot. Going back to the Kamara years, right? I mean, explosive player out of the backfield. Round 2 draft capital, the man is going to get the ball a lot in Denver. So I can see him, even if you didn't have him highly ranked like I did, the opportunity is there. So this is where you come into that quandary. Do you look at the tape and say, wow, he's a 5th-year player, an older prospect, explosive on the field, but you like other players better, but the landing spot in the draft capital, it's a tough decision to make. So, but I think you got to swing with the fences because Sean Payton, he's hearing that criticism too. They took him maybe early. He's going to try and prove everybody wrong. This dude is going to get on the field, I guarantee you, early and often this year. Caleb Johnson to the Pittsburgh Steelers is kind of like a Najee Harris clone a little bit. Their quarterback situation's pretty tough, but he was a good runner at Iowa last year. Solid draft capital as well. So I think he's going to go early, round 2, early to mid as well. Trey Harris and Jaden Higgins here. This is like the real quandary, right? 2 good landing spots, good opportunities. Both have good other wide receivers on the team, right? You got McConkey at the Chargers, and then, of course, you got Nico Collins at Houston. 2 guys that are already learned the ropes as rookies. So these guys come into 2 great situations, kind of have the same build, kind of the 2 big X receivers in this draft. That's going to be one of those shows that I do, Would You Rather, where we kind of break it down a little bit more, kind of look at the schemes, look at the target share, look at all of that. So be sure to hit that subscribe button to follow along. But, this is a toss-up, right? They're going to go early to mid in the second round, and it's really going to come down to who you like better as a player, who you think has better long-term upside. So I think it's a 50-50 roll the freaking dice, man. That is where we are. Cam Scatterbo here rounding out the early to mid round 2. Again, he is going to be that battering ram with The Giants, man, they love running the ball. They got Wilson there throwing the ball as well. So I think he's just a tough physical player, man. I love the way he plays football. He's just that good, tough, physical runner. Doesn't have the best lateral agility, but he's tough and physical. So it's really gonna be see how he's with Tyrone Tracy, how those two I think are going to be really good complements to each other. So I see him going off early to mid two. All right. So round two, mid to late, Elijah Arroyo is a player that I'm really high on. He was my tight end one coming into the class. I like the landing spot. Noah Fant to me is a jag, and I just think that he is the most athletic tight end. He was dinged up in college, so he's had some injury issues that I think people may have been fading him, but I like this spot. It's a sneaky good one for me. I think there's targets to be had in that offense. So Mason Taylor, too, going to the Jets. Great athlete. He's got the bloodlines with his dad playing in Miami. The Jets, I don't know how Fields is going to be throwing and distributing the ball. I mean, Russell Wilson's going to be obviously the target, number one target in that offense, but it's wide open after that. And Mason Taylor could have a phenomenal year. And, quarterbacks who are young and maybe a little nervous always look to their tight end. So he arguably, again, if you're in a tight end premium league, you might even take him a little earlier than this. But there's like 4 tight ends. Ferguson, we're going to talk about a little bit. It's a deep tight end class. So if you need a tight end in Dynasty, I can tell you in 2026 tight end class is looking pretty bleak. There's not a whole lot of guys. Like we didn't have Colston and Warren Loveland this time last year. We don't have any of those guys in 2026. The field is wide open, but subscribe to the channel because we're going to be digging into that all off season, getting you ready for the 2026 college football season. Round 2, mid to late, Kyle Williams, a guy that I wasn't super high on, but you got to respect the draft capital. Going to New England, Drake May is looking for that wide receiver one. Again, new coach, the old OC is back. So these guys that are drafted early with new regimes, they are going to want to make a point of getting them targets. So you got to take him here really because he's going to get the target share, and they're going to do everything they can to get the ball in his hands. Jack Besh, I think it's a good landing spot. I mean, Brock Bowers is the guy in on the Raiders, but solid player, big, physical, great complement to, I think, any kind of explosive players. You got Genty there now, so it's a really good offense. They're Geno Smith is there now, so really good. I think a good spot. Jalen Noel, really surprised. The Houston Texans are doing what they should be doing and getting as much talent for CJ Stroud as they possibly can. So Jalen Noel and Higgins, either one of these guys could blow up, right? I mean, which one? I could see him going week to week, both of these guys having successful weeks and being, probably a flex player to start in our dynasty rosters next year. But you got to like him here. He's not getting really out of round 2 with that landing spot. Good wide receiver room now in Houston. All right, Jalen Milroe, I am not getting out of the second round in my rookie drafts without Jalen Milroe. I like the landing spot. Love the landing spot, right? Sam Darnold is there for a year, which is going to be great because Jalen Milroe now can just simply enjoy learning how to play the game, get into the playbook, not be pressured to go out there and play. Love the landing spot. Could be like a Jalen Hurts type thing. So if you're in a super flex kind of format, you might want to take a swing here at the end of round 2. All right, round 3 is my round where you take your guys, man. You either, if you depend on your scouting, analytics, just all about draft capital and landing spot, whatever it is, this is where the talent drops off. And if you go back and look at past rookie drafts, round 3 through 5, most of them are long shots, even though we're excited now about these players, but still, you got to love just, the excitement of it all. Excuse me. Bashal Tutin from the Jaguars here. Again, I think all of these I've seen in my drafts. I've had 2 or 3 already for like real leagues, but I've done a ton of mocks on my NFL draft big boards and all these players. But these are the players that I'd be targeting based on their landing spot and opportunity. Okay, we're going to run through them pretty quick here. Bashal Tutin from the Jaguars. Again, new regime, new coach. They want their own players. So again, I'm leaning in that situation where guys are going to get a full ability to get on the field with new regimes in town. All right, Dylan Sampson going to the Browns with Judkins. It's kind of a buzzkill landing spot, but they could be a great 1-2 punch, and they got quarterback problems, so they're going to be running the ball a lot. And Dylan Sampson was a solid player playing in the SEC. Did fumble a lot. He's going to have to clean that up to get on the field, but I think Judkins is going to be the guy that gets the ball the majority of the time, but I think Sampson has the ability also to be a good flex dynasty option, down the road. I don't think year one we're going to see a ton of him. I think Jerome Ford still, as the veteran on the team, is going to get, in there. But nonetheless, Terrace Ferguson, again, if you are in a tight end premium league, you got to like the landing spots with the Rams. All right, Pat Bryant going to the Broncos. Again, somebody I liked. He was outside my top 10, but you got to respect the round 3 draft capital. Going to a team, Bo Nix seemed to play really well last year. They're looking for another wide receiver to emerge with Marvin Mims in that offense, so I think that's a great spot. Tyler Shuck is a really interesting player. I think New Orleans is going to be bad this year. They might draft. We got 3 or 4 really decent quarterbacks next year. Could be a rich quarterback class. So I'm going to be a little hesitant, but if you're in a super flex league, all the players that we're talking about now are all going to be backup players and mostly flex players for at least the first year or two until they maybe establish a good role on a team. But Tyler Shuck in the second round or in the third round, I think is a great spot. I've seen him go as high as mid-second and as much as 4. So either you're a believer or you're not. All right, Alec A.O. Manor going to the Titans, a very crowded wide receiver room right now. It's going to be interesting. Don't think he's going to get on the field year one. Jalen Royals going to Kansas City. Again, a wide receiver crowded room. Rashee Rice should be back. They got a lot of pass catchers on that team, but you got to love Kansas City. It's an explosive offense, and if he does pop, you're going to want a piece of him. Jaden Blue, I think, is a great spot with the Cowboys. Love this spot. I know you got Javonte Williams there. Jaden Blue could be that great complementary piece and be a guy that gets 10 touches a game. They need some explosion coming out of that backfield after the last couple years. Trevor Etienne going to the Panthers. He's going to have to wait his turn a little bit, but I like the spot. I think that Trevor Etienne, I'm going to kind of have him higher here than most, maybe, only because I really appreciated his scouting, watching him. I think he's got some great lateral ability, some power. He's a little undersized, but I think he's got some juice to his game. Woody Marks with the Texans. Joe Mixon is there, not getting any younger. They might like Woody Marks. Kind of losing my voice here at the end. I don't know why. I've been doing this for a long time. But Woody Marks comes into a good situation where I think he could, again, be that flex player in Dynasty. Isaac Tesla, interesting. The Lions move up to get this guy, which is really interesting. You got Jameson Williams there. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown. Gibbs out of the backfield, crowded. But he kind of fits that slotty, physical, kind of like a Jack Besh type player who might add a different element to that offense, but how does that translate to a dynasty roster and getting in our starting lineups? Probably going to take a little while. All right, Jordan James going to the 49ers. You got to love the 49ers running backs, right? I mean, it's just the way it goes, right? I mean, it's you got to take a Jordan James here. I think you can't get out of the third round without taking this guy. The 49ers, Shanahan loves taking shot with guys that get round 5 draft capital. He's done it before. Do they last? No. But here at the end of the third round, this is where I think I would probably swing for him. So there you guys go. There are my top 36 rookies after getting that draft capital, the landing spot. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. I don't know why. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, like I said, I'm going to be doing all sorts of content, rookie breakdowns for the 2026 class. Would you rather shows? We're going to talk about some deep sleepers outside of round 3, maybe round 4 or 5 guys that I would be targeting. All right, I'm going to go get a glass of water. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show.